What else have we got here?
Oh my God!
Oh,
if this is what
yourself.
I think it is. Did you take that out of the museum?
Wow. You're going to get raided by the
My,
FBI
so
in a minute.
joking apart, I have only ever seen this in the museum.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have got a special guest in the form of Ryan from NI Clasico. That is an online retailer and an actual physical bricks and mortar store that you can find in Ards, which is just outside Belfast. Those of you from the area will already know. Those of you who aren't, well, hey, you learned something new. Ryan, thanks for coming in to talk to us today.
Thank you very much for having me. Like, I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, so it would be great to understand a little bit about kind of how did you get into kind of selling vintage football shirts?
So it's actually strange because it starts with boxing. I went and seen...
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
No, no. I went to watch Josh Warrington and Carl Frampton fight in Manchester in 2018.
Right.
So it was just before Christmas market and stuff on as well. My wife came with me. We went to spend a couple of nights in Manchester then as well. So we went to the boxing. We had 2 nights left and went and looked at the classic football shirts guys, their shop in Deansgate, I think it is.
Yeah.
And was just blown away by it. Didn't know it was a thing, to be perfectly honest with you. Anytime I've been buying vintage shirts, I was buying them off just eBay or just locally off friends and stuff. Went to the shop. I was working in the civil service at the time with barely any retail experience or any selling experience really at all. But I said to my wife I was going to do it. I said, like, I want to do something like this. The story always joked, she teaches primary school kids. And primary school kids tell you they're going to be astronauts, pilots, firemen, whatever it is. And everyone just gives them a wee thumbs up and encourages them. That's exactly what my wife did, Yeah. Go ahead, good job. She didn't realise that 9 months later I'd opened the shop in Belfast initially. I actually signed for the shop 2 days before we got married. And she told me not to tell her. She just said, I know what you've done. I don't want to know. We're going on our honeymoon. You can tell me on the way home. Right. So I told her on the flight home from Canada, I've got a shop now. And she was like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I have absolutely no idea, but I'll figure it out. And
sometimes it's always the best way though, isn't it? It's just get yourself jumped in at the deep end and go for it, eh?
Pretty much, yeah. Just see if you can swim. And thankfully I had the right people around me to help me.
So what you can't see here, guys, is underneath this table, which is out of camera, there's a big sports billy bag. It's probably about this big and there's about 1,000 shirts going to come out of it. So here
we're going to see some of the stuff that Ryan sells in his store and on his website and a few of the things he's brought back from Italy.
So we'll start with this beauty here. Just one of the older shirts that I have.
Oh wow, that's a bit
beautiful
nice.
Inter Milan shirt, which I think is late 80s.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
And the way the number is on the back, it's kind of funny because to me it feels like they just kind of slap it on.
Yeah.
They go to the effort of making everything else beautiful, and the stitch and everything, so all the hems are great. Amazing. But they just with a number in the back.
It's incredible that for such a hot country,
acrylic gold.
Yeah, for such a hot country as Italy, that they were still wearing essentially woolly jumpers to play football until relatively recently.
Yeah, but honestly, I mean, joking apart, I think that's a reflection of their culture.
Yeah.
Because obviously, fashion, Italian styling, paninaros, all of that world. I'm not surprised it's reflected in their football kits. That is a thing of beauty, that shirt.
And the thing is as well, like, they're still playing in the winter as well as like at that match on Sunday it was cold. Like,
I remember going to a Lazio game in like November, December or something. Yeah. And it was weird because in Rome there was palm trees everywhere and it was ice cold.
That is beautiful. I mean, that really is beautiful.
Painted on the way the flocked, I think, and then paint over it.
Yeah.
It sort of spills onto the next bit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, lovely. A little bit of the stitching on the inside there though. But we'll forgive them for that. It is about
1,000 years old.
1,000 years old. So just out of interest, you're going to retail that for what?
I'll have to sort of double check, but I think over £100. Like I think because of
at least surely. I mean, it's
so beautiful. The chances are it will have gone by the time the video even gets out.
Yeah. So
have a look. Go on niclassico.co.uk.
I don't think they need to, Rob, because we've just agreed for £100, right? Brilliant.
Everyone, yeah. Make sure everything gets past this direction at the end of the conversation.
This one's fine here, kids.
Next up, I'm going to look at the camera until he puts it on the table so I can get the surprise.
Oh wow!
So this very plain design, but yeah, I'm still trying to figure out the year for this one.
Well,
so
if anyone knows, comment down below.
Leave us a comment.
Because you've got, you know, the way the original tag was, and then it's made in West Germany.
So if it's West Germany, it's got to be, I would say, definitely early 80s. I would hazard a guess.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a Sergei Baltacha era USSR shirt.
That is.
It's incredible how small the Adidas trefoil logo is on it as well, compared to what you would have expected.
But what I like about it, there's actually no kind of crest as such. You know, it's just a CCCP. Yeah, that is really smart. Like,
is that one going in your basket as well, mate?
And possibly.
Or a bit controversial
I
to wear a Russia
wish
shirt at the moment.
Adidas, please bring back that logo. Please bring it back. Oh my God.
Holy Grail.
Right, that's definitely not going back.
Holy Grail moment, everybody.
Wow.
So I've been very lucky to have quite a few of these in, and I get a buzz every time.
That is so nice.
They come in.
I think what people don't realise, geeking out on design, the whole of the front panel is basically one panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really good. There's no sleeve seam at all.
Which is actually what we did for the 2006 jerseys for the World Cup with Puma. It was certainly for the player versions, the whole front panel was one piece, but not for the benefit of a graphic. That was to do with aerodynamics, but it was nice to be able to look back.
That is so nice.
Refer to that.
There's so many
awesome
versions of this. You know, you'll get it like that. You'll get it with the badge and subliminated into the shirt.
Yeah.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, the 1991 version had the trim across the front. You know, kind of around the midriff of it as well. And it was a slightly neater fitting.
Amazing. Look how the stripes match up as well, which on a modern shirt, on the shirt reviews you will have seen on this channel, a lot of these stripes just wouldn't match up anymore. It's quite an expensive thing to do. So, you know, the manufacturers would allow a little bit of a leeway or put a contrast stripe in between so they don't have to match.
Well, even how that's made, if you look at that from the inside, you can see how Rob's just explained how they kind of match that up. But if you can see this darker line here, that's basically where they've actually just stitched the three stripes on the shoulders, and they've actually just chevroned that in. So that's not actually into any seam at all, which is why that black stitching has to sit on the top.
Yeah.
But that is such a nice detail. That is lovely. And you got this from Italy?
I did.
Wow.
I did indeed, yeah.
Wow, that's so nice. That's got to be going for a few quid, that surely.
It will, yeah, it will.
250.
That's all you're going to know. It will, yes.
Well, I mean, I've been lucky enough, as I say, to have quite a few in, and I try to keep the prices low. And it sounds all sales pitchy when I say that, but I only have me to take care of. When it comes to this, I don't have staff, multiple premises.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet, but to take care of. So I understand why some retailers have to have the higher prices because there's more bills and stuff, you know.
And with collectibles, there is no retail price. It's literally whatever people are willing to pay, isn't it? But it's definitely Ryan's business is known within the industry and within the community as being fairly priced. You know, taking into account how hard to source some of these things are. Yeah. You know, you could find identical shirts at some other well-known retailers with a far inflated price tag. So
you'll see them in certain sites and stuff, and I mean they sell, so it works for them.
Yeah.
But they'll sell them for 150, 180, 250 potentially. Yeah. I mean, we see the condition of this. Shirts the seeds there'll be flick or there'll be silly wee tiny stain or something to it, which customers are happy to have. You know, it doesn't really bother them because of what the shirt is. This one's in pretty good condition, but I'll still keep it for the relative price of probably about a 120 because that's what I tend to sell them for. Yeah. And people are happy to pay it. So, you know.
Okay, so that's what 120, 100. So that's 220. I owe you. Right, great.
So we'll go for a different brand.
Here we go.
but I know he's a player that you hold dear.
Oh my God.
So yeah.
That is so
The actual GOAT, certainly in terms of goal scorers for me.
I mean, that is
remarkable football.
But I love the pattern through it, the subliminal design, the sleeves, like everything about it.
Yeah, everything sublimated on the Kappa kit, wasn't it?
Yeah, I really wanted this when I was a kid.
Yeah,
that was like
this is like whenever you went to Barcelona with your mum and dad on holiday, this was the kit, or similar sort of sublimation Barcelona kits back in the day. And as you say, I mean, what a player.
Yeah.
You can only think of one player when you see that kit. For me anyway, because Ronaldo is just literally like,
Oh, just incredible. I forget the numbers now, and it's a shame that I forget the numbers, but there was a statistic on what percentage of his goals he actually went round the goalkeeper to score.
Yeah.
And like, if you watch a compilation of him and the amount of times he would be through on goal, or even have defenders around him and he'd still sit the goalkeeper down, it was just remarkable. It was like witchcraft.
Beautiful. And I actually really like the back neck label.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that it's just
quality.
Yeah, really nice. Really, really smart. That's a great find, mate. Oh my God.
Oh,
if this is what
yourself.
I think it is.
Yeah, it is. Sticking
Oh
with
my God.
Yes.
the club.
Did you take that out of the museum?
Wow.
Well,
You're going to get raided by the
Maple
FBI
Cross
in a
So,
minute.
individuals.
joking apart, there must be collectors out there that have got this, right? Okay, fair enough. I have only ever seen this in the museum, in the new camp. And that is the kit that actually inspired the gold uniform.
Really?
Yeah, well,
Wow.
if you've ever seen any of the episodes where I talk about the Barcelona gold uniform,
And if you haven't, click the links.
so a lot of it is basically, you know, Boba Van Zenden, conversations with those players, but when you go through the museum, this is just so loud and proud. What a kit this was. What a kit.
So is this another one? You're just having all of them.
Yeah. To be honest, you should just give me your bag. Yeah. Oh, my Lord, look at that. What I loved about this, though, again, what, 30, 35, 40-year-olds, something like this, possibly even longer?
Yeah.
Look at that as a bit of technology.
Amazing.
Absolutely awesome, man.
Amazing.
That is great. And if I'm not mistaken, these were all made in Spain. Made in Spain.
Yeah,
there you
in
go.
Spain.
I feel like we should record another intro to the video. Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 of our conversation with Ryan, where we document the beginning of what started as an obsession for Craig and turned into a messy divorce.
That is honestly,
Wow.
that is like one of
Just
the nicest shirts I've
incredible.
seen in a long time.
Yeah.
It's funny, innit? Is collectors of kits, and I'm not a massive collector of kits. I've got to be honest. I'm more of a designer of kits. But these things mean so much to us when I see them in the flesh, because, you know, I've had pictures of them. I've been lucky enough with 1 or 2 of them where I've actually had it, but I never had this in my hand when I was physically designing.
Well, I think as well, from that era, and I think that's part of what makes kit collecting, the really older shirts, such a great passion, is they were really hard to get. Whereas now, if you want a Barcelona shirt, get one from anywhere. You know, really walk down the road and go to any number of high street retailers, and you can get Barcelona home away, 3rd, 4th, pre-match, whatever. You know, back in the day, you just couldn't get near them.
What are we saying price-wise on that?
Oh, I'm not ready yet.
To a
But
good friend.
I'm not ready yet. Let's keep in this one.
I don't actually know if I will part with it or not, because it is.
Honestly, if I was you, I totally wouldn't. For me, I would get that framed, put it in your shop.
It feels like one, because I was thinking about that, of if it was mine, what would I do? And it's so beautiful. I don't even know if I'd want to frame it. I feel like I'd need it on a mannequin or something.
Yeah,
to
there's
touch
an
it,
option. There's a local fella, Michael Cockcroft, who came up with the idea of, he fixes the mannequin to the wall, and then he has a clear perspex case round it.
Okay.
So the mannequin sits at a kind of angle off the wall, so you
that'd
can
be
just
pretty
unhook
cool.
it and swap the shirt for whatever you want to display. Just framing them. There's plenty of good framers out there, but there's plenty that aren't. And once they wreck something, that's it. You know,
We've got a very good story
Tell me
featuring
about
Ronaldo
that.
regarding Craig's
Yes, that's right. I remember.
Ronaldo match
Remind
ball
us of
stuff
that.
getting destroyed.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
keep an
moving
eye out for
on.
that one.
Moving on. Yeah, we'll not talk about
Just
that.
don't put them in the sunlight. That's all I would say.
So
Oh wow.
I think you'll appreciate considering where we're filming this one.
Here we are in Liverpool. European Cup Final 1984.
Wow.
Look at that. And is that
nice
Kenny
one.
Dalglish's actual shirt?
Looks like the size of it. Oh, no, that's class as well.
I love the size of the collar. I actually love the way the label is as well.
Yeah.
Just with the orange Umbro.
Yeah.
to it.
Something else that you can look out for as well. 9 times out of 10, and we've said this in one of our previous videos before, 9 times out of 10, football kits were actually made in the countries that the kits came from.
Yeah.
So if it was Liverpool, it was made in England. If it was Barca, it was made in Spain. Certainly if you go back to like 70s, 80s, that sort of era,
totally.
and quite rightly so, on the bottom of that you can just make it out, but it says made in England on the bottom of the tag, which you just know that's going to be
been put together in Macclesfield or Wilmsley.
Yeah, that's a great kit. Lovely.
Yeah. So this one I've had in stock actually for a while, but I just love it because of the sponsor and the name set on the back.
Jeff United.
Wow.
So, you know, the font and stuff as well. Like it's, and even, so I'll flick it up here.
Look at that overlock in action.
Very similar to what the Puma 2002 World Cup shirts look like.
So when is
But
what
before
is
I
the
got
era
there.
of this?
2002, that one.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So but
I
it's
mean,
not
that-
a Puma shirt. It
Well,
is a Mizuno.
it's a nice,
Yeah.
it's a nice design in as much as, you know, they've used the overlock in contrast, which has brought a lot of. It almost looks like a surf and rashi vest, or you know, like if you think of like the Kappa jersey from what was it, 2002?
2000.
Was it?
Yeah, yeah.
2000. The combat
2000, yeah.
shirt looks similar to that, but you can see how the, you know, the sponsors logo is starting to give way a little bit. You know,
It's interesting of like all the benefits of flat lock seam. So it's literally means that it's flat inside and out, so you don't feel it against your skin. So they were amazing for the Kappa shirt. They stretch like crazy. They're really comfortable. But from an actual technical benefit on this shirt, there's no advantage to it at all because they've got a regular seam right the way up the side and under the arm. They've put all this, what's essentially duct tape sponsor logos on it. The hem's bound, which is quite heavy. So yeah, it's presumably just been done for the visual of it, which, I mean, fair play, they've pulled it
I
off.
think it looks all right. I'm not a big fan of the logo on the front, but yeah, it's not a bad looking shirt, and it's been made in Japan.
Wow.
So yeah,
Awesome.
cool, like that.
So
Right.
if your name's Jeff and you collect football shirts, this is your chance.
Do you want to stick that your side? That's not. I don't think I'm interested.
So what
in
we're
that
having, am I
one.
getting a reject pile as usual?
Yeah, basically.
Standard.
Oh,
So this one
oh,
is a beautiful shirt, and I love the badge, you know.
wow. What year is that from?
I think it's mid-80s.
Looks like 86 to me.
Yeah, I think so. something
So
along
I
those
am
lines.
actually on the search for an Arsenal kit for a pal of mine. So that might actually have to go in my So if that said person is actually watching this video, you'll get the joke of it eventually. But yeah, so that's great. That's a cracking kit.
It is wicked. Did you have that one when you were a kid?
No, I didn't have that one when I was a kid. What is this? Like hit on Craig's non-Newcastle United support day or something?
Well, funny you should mention that, Craig. Yes.
Yeah, that is nice.
That's
though.
brilliant.
Love that. Honestly, I cannot say how much I'd love them to bring that logo back. Man.
Never going to happen though,
I
is
know,
it?
it's such a
Certainly not in the near future.
I just, honestly,
That's a new
I
logo
would
as well.
never say never. Adidas, what do you think? Come on.
That's you hanging on to hope, that is, mate.
So again, where's this been made? I'd be interested. Made in the UK.
So it
Yeah,
doesn't
look
even-
at that.
Does that say the UK?
have
My
a look.
eyesight's not that great, like, but
Lend us your glasses.
Yeah.
Made in UK, yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Produced under Adidas license, so it could well have been manufactured by Umbro.
Yeah, that's lovely. That.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, there was a big relationship between Adidas and Umbro starting from the 70s, where
Right, okay.
Adidas were not really selling in the UK, and Umbro
Yeah.
became the distributor of Adidas boots.
There you go now.
And then as part of it, there was a bit of a deal where Umbro would do the kits with the Adidas footwear. And then there was an Australia jersey from, I I think around 1978, which has actually got the Umbro double diamond on it, and then it's got the 3 stripes on the sleeves.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that makes sense now, yeah.
So what do you think something like that would go for? Have you not decided on that?
I have to do it. I think it's just because of the conditioning. I'd have to research, but again, I think if I'm on the spot, what's he on? About 150-ish, maybe.
Yeah. Right, okay.
Something along those
I'll
lines.
have to work on that. I'll give you 120. Go on. Oh, that's lovely, mate. I can't believe what you found, man. It's unbelievable, like.
And this one didn't come from the trip, it came from Italy. And there's a bit of a story to it. So, this is Colin Clark's match for Northern Ireland shirt when they played Greece in '88. And he got 2 goals. He still lost, but he got 2 goals.
Against the mighty Greeks.
But I missed this on an auction in 2020, I think it was.
What, this exact one?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then fast forward to last year, out for dinner with my wife, and then we went to the pub down the hill from the house, you know, just a couple of drinks or whatever. Happened to be on my phone and seen it on an Italian collector's page.
No way.
That I didn't even realise it was on Facebook. And it turned out if the owner of it at the time followed me on Twitter, so I got a chat with him and managed to persuade him to part with it for what he won it for.
Right.
No, what?
I forgot all about it and woke up in the morning with a sore head and a message saying, "Oh, I've sent that to your friends in Naples." I think it cost me about 250.
Wow. Well worth it though. That's
yeah.
Like it's amazing. I love the way you phrase some of that. Well, I had a conversation with him. I've managed to persuade him, and then he sent it to my contact in Naples. Sounds to me like he didn't really want to sell it.
Yeah. So, but even just
look at the numbers.
The
numbers are beautiful.
So, and it's just a shirt, as a Northern Ireland fan, obviously, that is pretty special to own. So.
Yeah, that's lovely. I just love the way that's been. I mean, you may not do that nowadays, because obviously it would take too long to do it. But just, you know, even if like some of the brands mimicked some of these tiny little details and stuff, just that little bit of nostalgia. And again, it's
just
interesting.
Imagine Colin Clark sat there in the dressing room before the game with his needle.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Just what we'd said about bringing, really, just a Liverpool shirt. And it's kind of a story to this, because I was talking to a group of collectors from Ireland, Northern Ireland, recently, and they were talking about their collections, and some of them have stunning collections where, you know, they've focused on a particular player, for example.
Yeah.
The fella Terry focused on Odegaard's shirts from the start of his career, basically. There's another fella, Derek, for United shirts since his birth. And it's kind of, for someone that sells shirts, I haven't collected that many, because you're kind of always thinking of the business side of things and sometimes forget about your own personal collection, unless something like that Colin Clark shirt comes up. So I'd said about collecting Ballon d'Or winner shirts from '87 when I was born. And I have one of these coming with Owen on the back.
Okay.
But obviously, being a Man United fan, I've never thought, I'll collect a Liverpool shirt. So the first shirt out of that batch that I'll be collecting is a Michael Owen Liverpool shirt, which goes against everything that I would feel as a football fan, but as a collector. Yeah. It's kind of the perfect way to start, because it gets the awkward one out of the way, you know, it gets the one I don't want out of the way, and then I can focus more on Van Basten and Hill, you know, players, Shevchenko, Messi, Ronaldo, all those players.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do. Well, thank you so much for opening up your sport billy bag. I can't believe how much money I'm going to have to part with now. But
I expect I'll be paying for lunch, will I, today?
Yeah, more than likely.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for joining us today, Ryan.
Absolutely.
Remember,
awesome,
you
mate.
can pop into Ryan's store if you're in the Ards area just outside Belfast in Northern Ireland, or you can go to niclassico.co.uk to see what Ryan's got in stock, assuming that Craig hasn't already bought all of it. So all that's left for us to say is thanks very much for tuning in. We hope that you enjoyed the video. Leave us a comment, let us know which of these really grabbed your attention, what else you think Ryan should be focusing on getting in stock next. If you could like and subscribe, that would be awesome. And also, don't forget, we've got a Patreon channel, so you can be part of our community. You can have conversations with myself and Craig and with other collectors and designers, and also by joining that you get to help fund Craig's newly formed habit that you've borne witness to today. So thanks so much, and we look forward to seeing you next time on the channel.
Cheers.
How much would you charge Craig for this one?
£50.
You can have it.
What if we got it signed by Jamie Carragher in our video?
£40.
Edit